6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardana, assisted by Sanjaya Paladiniya, and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The President instructs the legal departments to draft stringent laws aimed at preventing child abuse. The district secretaries are instructed to submit a district development plan immediately. The landslide early warnings issued to 5 districts extended. Several schools in the southern province are temporarily closed due to the adverse weather. MP Sagara Kariwasam says that no request was made to reappoint Mahinda Rajapaksa as Prime Minister. Foreign news. President Zelensky is in the UK for a surprise meeting with Premier Rishi Sunak. Sports tennis. The South Asian ITF Regional Under-12 qualifying tennis tournament will commence tomorrow. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued a directive to the legal departments instructing them to prepare stringent legislation aimed at preventing child abuse. The President has stressed the urgency of addressing the ongoing issue of child abuse perpetrated by teachers, elders and various segments of the society. He has emphasized the necessity of implementing a legal framework that imposes severe punishments on offenders to combat such acts effectively. The President's decision to take action was prompted by tragic incidents reported recently. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has specifically highlighted the need to introduce a separate set of laws dedicated to safeguarding the welfare of the nation's children. To achieve this, he has called for amendments to be made to the existing legislation, underscoring the importance of careful consideration during the process. Significant adjustments are needed in the field of education. The President also highlighted the importance of initiating a new discussion and raising awareness about the economic and social implications of parent-child interactions and mental health within households. The Prime Minister instructed district secretaries to submit a district development plan immediately. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardana mentioned this when the Committee for Preparing a Suitable Program for Monitoring the Activities of the Local Government met at the Temple Trees recently. Many matters and methods, including the continuity of various projects implemented by the local government institutions, management of financial allocations of those institutions, supervision and maintenance of all activities are coordinated through this committee, and its progress was discussed here. The Prime Minister asked the divisional secretaries to identify the areas that should be given priority in the district and submit a rough district development plan to the committee as soon as possible. He also advised them to obtain the support of the officials in the district in this regard. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The National Building Research Organisation has extended the landslide early warnings issued to the Galle, Hambantota, Kaluthara, Mathara and Ratnapura districts. Accordingly, the Level 1 landslide early warnings have been issued to 15 divisional secretariat of the Galle, Hambantota, Kaluthara, Mathara and Ratnapura districts. The residents of these areas are advised to be on alert. Meanwhile, the Department of Irrigation predicts that the prevailing minor floods will decrease gradually since only little rainfall has been reported in the Nilwala and Ging river basins recently. Schools in several educational zones in the southern province have been temporarily closed today owing to the prevailing unfavorable weather conditions. Many schools have also been flooded due to the heavy rainfall received by those areas since yesterday. All schools except Urubokka National School and Percy Abewardena Vidyalaya in Deniaya Educational Zone remained closed owing to the unfavorable weather. Meanwhile, the Mulatiyana Zonal Educational Office notified that 8 schools of the division remained closed today. Schools in the north, eastern, north central, northwestern and central provinces functioned under normal procedure. Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Nilamani Malaviarachi, said that none of the schools in the Western Province have been closed. The General Secretary of the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumuna Sagara Kariwasam says that no request was made to the President to reappoint former President Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister. Furthermore, he also mentions that such rumours are false. He further pointed out that the President is entitled to reappoint governors and SLBC has no intention of interfering with it. Meanwhile, the SLBC parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa says that ex-President Mahinda Rajapaksa is not ready to obtain the Prime Minister post through conspiracies but by the people's power. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara says that the Norachole Power Plant's Unit 3 will be shut down for 100 days from June 13th for scheduled major overhaul maintenance work. Accordingly, power generation will be managed without any power cuts through other thermal power plants. In a Twitter message, Minister Wijesekara also pointed out that the full coal requirement of the Ceylon Electricity Board for this season will be completed within the 30th cargo of coal, which is currently unloading at Norachole. Furthermore, he highlighted that there will be no blackouts or power cuts due to coal shortages. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight this evening, the National Dengue Control Unit has reported nearly 4,000 novel cases of dengue virus within the first 2 weeks of this month, raising grave concerns of a potential epidemic. Accordingly, a total of 33,656 dengue cases have been reported so far this year, while 20 dengue-related deaths have been reported. The National Dengue Control Unit further explained that the ongoing inclement weather conditions only further aggravates the breeding of mosquitoes. The highest number of cases were reported from Gampaha at 475, while Colombo did not fall too behind at 412. Gotatua, Piliandala, Kaduela, Maharagama and Batramulla areas of the Colombo district and Wattala, Nigambo, Biagama, Ragama and Jail areas of the Gampaha district have been identified as high-risk areas. And that came to you in Watchlight. Now moving on to a bulletin of world news, and in the headlines, President Zelensky is in UK for surprise meeting with Premier Rishi Sunak. Thai voters deliver stunning blow to army-backed rule. Cyclone Mocha beats Myanmar, leaving relief workers struggling. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is visiting the UK to meet Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. In a tweet, he said he would meet his friend, Mr. Sunak, to hold substantive negotiations. Mr. Zelensky has been meeting Western leaders in recent days, seeking to bolster support for Ukraine. At the meeting, Mr. Sunak says the pair would be discussing what more could be done to support Ukraine. Thai voters have delivered a stunning verdict in favor of an opposition party that is calling for radical reform of the country's institutions. Early results show Move Forward exceeding every prediction to win 151 of the 500 seats in the lower house. It's now 10 seats ahead of what was the front-runner, Pheu Thai, led by ex-Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatра's daughter. Analysts are calling this a political earthquake that represents a significant shift in public opinion. Cyclone Mocha has crashed ashore in Myanmar, leaving relief workers struggling to assess the extent of the damage because of the storm caused major disruption to communications. It is one of the most powerful storms to ever hit the region across the coast of northwestern Rakhine State. The main Rohingya refugee camp in Cox's Bazar appeared to have been spared the worst of the cyclone, but it's likely to take some time for a clearer picture to emerge. More than 4,000 of Sittwe's 300,000 residents were evacuated to other cities, and more than 20,000 people took shelter in sturdy buildings such as monasteries, pagodas and schools located on the city's highlands. And back to the headlines of the world news. President Zelensky is in the UK for a surprise meeting with Premier Rishi Sunak. The voters deliver stunning blow to army-backed rule. Cyclone Mocha beats Myanmar, leaving relief workers struggling. And that ends World News. Up next is Development News.
Development News.
The Hambantota International Port, HIP, launched its duty-free complex with the opening of 2 duty-free shops within the port's premises. The complex is designed to grow the duty-free business catering to vessels calling HIP. The first 2 operators to set up at HIP's duty-free complex are Royal Electronics and United Life, both organizations with over 30 years of experience in the duty-free trade. They offer a wide array of international duty-free goods ranging from imported liquor, confectionery, perfumes, tobacco, etc. And that was Development News. Now moving on to sports news, the Sri Lanka Tennis Association have named an 8-member contingent for the South Asian ITF Regional Under-12 Boys and Girls Qualifying Tennis Tournament, which will commence in Dhaka, Bangladesh tomorrow. The Sri Lanka boys tennis team will be spearheaded by Yudhira Athapattu of Mahideva College and will be joined by Damsat Piris, Netushan Pulanath and Bovindu Jayawardena. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka girls tennis team will bank on their number 1 ranked player, Anya Norbert of Holy Family Convent, with Gianna Pereira, Eliza Kahagalla and Hesandi Mallavarachi joining the lineup. Sri Lanka will battle it out along with Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and the host nation Bangladesh during this 5-day team championship. 2 teams from the tournament will receive promotion and will qualify from the South Asia region for the ITF 2023 Under-12 finals to be held in Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. And that in sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
A Bar and Company Limited recently entered a partnership for the distribution of the multinational pharmaceutical company GSK's prescription medicines and vaccines in Sri Lanka. During the latter part of last year, GSK announced its intention to wind down its commercial business in Sri Lanka. With this new alliance, both BARS and GSK reaffirms their unwavering commitment to the people of the country and ensure patients have uninterrupted access to GSK's safe, effective and high-quality medications. In marking the partnership, an event was held on the 9th of May 2023 at the Lotus Ballroom, Shangri-La, Colombo. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of...
For the 5th consecutive year, LOLC is awarded People's Financial Services Brand of the Year at the 2022 Slim Kantar People's Awards. As the People's Financial Services Brand of the Year, LOLC continues to place the customer first, and this has won the hearts, minds and trust of Sri Lankans, with yet another prestigious award as proof of this lasting commitment. LOLC. Imagine the possibilities.
During a meeting held at the Presidential Secretariat yesterday, President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced that a cabinet subcommittee would be appointed to implement the Sabanachurong plan for the development of the Western Province and a new agency would be established for this purpose. The President stressed the need for comprehensive development in the Western Province through formal city development plan, stating that informal development could become uncontrollable. And that was economic news.
LOLC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LOLC Finance claims the overall gold award, whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
Weather report.
showers or thunder showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamu, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Several special showers may occur elsewhere over the country. Strong winds about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the island. And that was the weather report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The President instructs the legal department to draft stringent laws aimed at preventing child abuse. The district secretaries are instructed to submit a district development plan immediately. The landslide early warnings issued to 5 districts extended. Several schools in the southern province are temporarily closed due to the adverse weather. MP Sagar Karyasam says that no request was made to reappoint Mahinda Rajapaksa as Prime Minister. Foreign news, President Zelensky is in the UK for a surprise meeting with Premier Rishi Sunak. Sports tennis, the South Asian ITF Regional Under-12 qualifying tennis tournament will commence tomorrow. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.